First time in 12 years, unemployment has risen above 2 million. According to figures out this morning, the total of people looking for work is 2.03 million. The number of people claiming a job seekers allowance has jumped by 75% in the past 12 months. Well, in the Commons a short time ago, the Prime Minister expressed his personal regret that people are losing their jobs. Our chief economics correspondent Hugh Pym has the details.
Another soul-destroying day in the hunt for work.
Hello, you all right?
Jenny Wu, who lives near Oldham, has been looking for a job since the autumn and is a regular visitor to this recruitment agency. She's experienced in secretarial work but says employers are just not interested.
They're not getting back to me on anything. I send my CV off, I send a covering letter, hope to get a response, hope to get an interview, and I just don't get anything back at all.
And how do you feel about that?
It gets really frustrating when you're taking the time to fill the CVs in, to go through the correct channels, and then they don't even say thanks, but no thanks.
In Oldham, there are 24 people actively looking for work for every vacancy advertised at job centres, a big increase in the last year.
Press it straight away.
Local schemes like this, run by a supermarket group, train the long-term unemployed for work, but they can only go so far. The total number out of work is now above 2 million for the first time since 1997. The number claiming job seekers allowance is nearly 1.4 million, up more than 138,000 in February, the biggest monthly increase since modern records began. And those jobless figures inevitably dominated today's exchanges at Prime Minister's questions.
We have seen unemployment rise to over 2 million. The increase in the claimant count is the sharpest rise since records began. Doesn't this reveal that the claims repeatedly made by the Prime Minister that Britain was one of the best placed countries in the world to withstand recession was simply nonsense?
Mr. Speaker, I came into politics and I stood for Parliament first because I wanted to help tackle unemployment and poverty. And that is why we are announcing the most comprehensive programme to help the unemployed.
But in some parts of the country, there are far fewer claimants of job seekers allowance for every vacancy in the local economy, like here in Chester, for example. It's an affluent area. They've seen pretty strong economic growth here in recent years.
Some employers here told us they were struggling to recruit. There were still unfilled job vacancies. It's not typical of the UK, but it's a reminder that unemployment has hit some communities harder than others. Hugh Pym, BBC News.
And there have been more job losses announced this morning. The car hire company One Car One has said it is going into administration. Danny Savage is outside their headquarters in Leeds for us now. Danny.
Yes, well, this is the reality behind the job losses, really. As I am talking